4.48 billion people. That's how many people use social media every day. And by the year 2027, 6 billion people are estimated to use social media. Just to give you an estimate, the world's population today is 8 billion people. We spend hours today scrolling through Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. And if you're anything like me, and if you're anything like the millions of social media users around the world, the second we get bored, we pick up our phone and what do? Scroll through social media. In a previous video of mine, we had discussed how social media influences us. And in this video, we're going to discuss what is it that social media can do to improve so that it serves its original purpose, that was entertainment and spreading a lot of joy and happiness and connecting people around the world. So let's dig right into it. Point number one is health and fitness. Whenever we think about health and fitness, the first thing that comes to our mind are influencers in these fabulous locations looking fabulous. In my opinion, the whole essence of health and fitness is lost. And what we need more from social media is to put into mainstream media what it takes to look a certain way and what it takes to look fit. I would love to see influencers posting the sacrifices they make, how they make it to the gym 5 days a week, how they probably don't go out with their friends and family and eat what is within their meal plan. Because in the current situation, what we are just in love with looking a certain way, but we don't understand the work that goes behind the scenes to look a particular way. Also, I feel that being overweight should not be celebrated. It's okay if you're overweight if you have certain health issues like thyroid, but if you're overweight because you just don't go to the gym or you don't exercise and eat a lot of food, that should not be celebrated, because we know that being overweight is the cause of many diseases that takes away from the joy of life. Being healthy also means being mentally fit, and exercising and eating good food is a huge contributor to being mentally fit. And I just wish that a lot more influencers talk about that and spread that message around the world. Point number two is algorithms. Before we discuss this, let's look at a small clip from the YouTube channel Majority Report.
But the Frances Haugen, she was the Facebook whistleblower and that employee of Facebook that showed us the internal emails. There were two things that happened. They had internal research on Instagram that showed that vulnerable teens that were on Instagram, British teens had 12% higher rates of suicidality, American teens had 6% rates of suicidality, and that if you had an eating disorder, your self-harm rates went up 17%. And they knew this, and there were internal emails that they were having discussions, should we adjust the algorithms to make them less toxic? Because here's the thing, it's not as if sad or depressed people go on Instagram and they get sadder, they're targeted. So the algorithm acts like a heat-seeking missile towards people's psychological vulnerabilities and attacks them with information that will make them more unwell, because being more unwell, they're more inclined to rubberneck toxic content. So the young girl struggling with body image issues is more prone to look at toxic content that it's going to be hurtful for them. And knowing this, they did this anyway. That's where I think it's really, well, there's legal liability there, but there's also ethical liability there as well.
Now, I understand that social media today is owned by big companies, and big companies are answerable to their shareholders, and they just need to keep increasing their profits year by year so that the share price keeps rising. But there is a social responsibility when you have information of so many people. Just to give you an example, if there's a teenage girl who's suffering from body image issues and mental health issues to an extent that she feels suicidal, and if the social media company knows about it, she should not be fed data of people in bikinis in fabulous locations. And what these teens need to be fed on social media is posts from psychologists that can actually help them overcome these little issues that they have. Point number three is false information. Social media is so huge today that even elections can be decided based on the sentiment on social media at the time. So it is imperative that social media giants prioritize fact-checking, verify news, and other stories posted on social media. They have enough money today to make their algorithm robust enough to find accounts that spread false information. These accounts must be banned, and the account holder should not be able to create new accounts and new spreading false information on social media, because as we discussed in the previous video of mine, social media can really influence a lot of aspects of our life. And also there must come a point where these companies are held accountable for the information shared on their platform. Point number 4 is the idea of happiness. The idea of happiness is sold to you on various platforms as a package. It's a trip to the Maldives or some beautiful place, business class, kids smiling, a perfect world. But everybody's idea of happiness is different, because we are all individuals and we have different needs and wants, and different things make us happy. Some of us like travel, some of us don't, and we should not be forced to accept this idea of happiness just because it is on social media. And I think influencers on various platforms should encourage people to find their source of happiness, to find who they are, so that their viewers can lead a much more fulfilled life. As always, I hope you found this video helpful and learned something from it. I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching.